Hello and welcome back. I'm Barbara O'Neill. Today we're tackling a deeply important topic, cancer, its causes, and how certain foods can play a role in treatment and prevention. If you're concerned about cancer or simply looking to make informed health choices, this information is crucial. Cancer can arise from a variety of factors, including genetic predispositions, environmental influences, and lifestyle choices. However, recent research shows that certain foods can help support the body's defences and potentially reduce the risk of developing cancer. In this lecture, we'll delve into the science behind cancer's causes and explore how specific foods may impact cancer treatment and prevention. So join me to learn how you can make dietary choices that align with cancer prevention and treatment strategies.
There are a lot of health professionals today who are looking at healing from a DNA level. Because if you don't get the pattern right, if you don't get the recipe right, it cannot be made. You see that? Cancer is mutations of the DNA. So the first thing we've got to do, obviously, is stop what is causing the damage or the mutations in the DNA and heal that DNA, or the body will not heal. So let's have a look now at what causes damage in DNA. Because as I said previously, if you don't turn the tap off, you're still going to be mopping up in the other corner. Let's have a look at what causes damage in these messages. Number one is chemicals. Chemicals are called carcinogenic. Carcinogenic means causing cancer, causing mutations in the DNA. I was reading in the Chemical Alliance magazine recently that they're finding babies that learnt to swim, or children that learned to swim as babies in chlorine pools, are having health problems because of the chemicals in the pool. Whenever they try and put fluoride in the water, huge protest comes up. Have you noticed? But they still put it in the water. You know what fluoride is? It's a byproduct from Alco, the aluminium making company. Does fluoride help with teeth? Well, fluorosis is mottled teeth. That's from too much of the fluoride. Fluoride can also damage the DNA. It can also damage brain cells. It can damage kidney cells. And the fact is, if fluoride touches the tooth, it can actually strengthen the outer coating. That's about all. How many chemicals were legal 20 years ago that are illegal today? How many are we using today, or some are using today, that will be illegal in another 10 years? Chemicals cause cancer. Chemicals cause mutation of the DNA. We don't have any say over the neighbour, but we have total say over our home. One of the best things you can do for your family is make a decision to have a chemical-free home. And as we go through these lectures, I'll show you very effective and much cheaper alternatives. Genetically modified foods. Genetically modified foods, how do they cause mutations in the DNA? Basically, that's how it created. Two DNA from two different species are spliced together. Let's give you an example. The DNA from a tomato and the DNA from an Atlantic salmon, they splice together to create a tomato that will grow in the snow, but it actually doesn't happen. There's this huge grey area of all these other things that happen that they actually don't understand. And when a human being eats genetically modified food, and that food's broken down to these simple structures, especially amino acids, the body says, "Who are you? I don't recognize you." And if there's no other amino acids, they have to use them for the building of the DNA, and that causes flaws, causes mutations in the DNA. Eating genetically modified foods causes cancer because it actually puts into the body basic ingredients that the body does not know how to use.
Aside from chemicals and genetically modified foods, radiation is another major factor that can harm DNA. This includes ionizing radiation like X-rays and gamma rays, which can directly break DNA's chemical bonds and potentially lead to cancer. UV rays from the sun, a type of non-ionizing radiation, can also damage DNA by causing chemical changes that disrupt normal cellular processes. Environmental pollutants play a significant role as well. Heavy metals like lead and mercury and various air pollutants such as particulate matter and ozone can all contribute to DNA damage. These pollutants often produce free radicals, which are highly reactive molecules that can damage DNA. When the body's natural defenses are overwhelmed, this damage accumulates and can lead to health problems. Lifestyle choices such as smoking and heavy alcohol use also have a significant impact. Smoking introduces many harmful chemicals that directly damage DNA, while alcohol can lead to the production of acetaldehyde, a substance that also harms DNA and interferes with the body's repair mechanisms. To lower these risks, making healthier lifestyle choices is essential. This includes reducing exposure to harmful chemicals, choosing organic and non-GMO foods when possible, protecting yourself from excessive sun exposure, and avoiding smoking and excessive drinking. Regular health checkups and screenings are also important, as they help in catching potential issues early and managing them effectively. By being proactive in these areas, you can help protect your DNA and improve your overall health.
Do you remember I said to you about 1% of doctors today are claiming that antibiotics have caused more problems than they ever cured? And I'm referring to cancer. I have a myriad of books here showing the link between cancer and fungus. This one's called Cancer is a Fungus by Dr. Tullio Simoncini, Italian oncologist that was having phenomenal results with cancer until they took all his qualifications away. Do you know why the pharmaceutical companies hate him? Because he's using something that can't be painted. It's called sodium bicarb. This one's Professor Constantini. He was former head, there's a picture of him. He was former head of the World Health Organization Department of Mycology. What's the Department of Mycology? Studies fungus. After 20 years of independent research, he wanted to publish his books, and the World Health Organization said, we're not going to publish those books, because if medicine acknowledges the fungal link with disease, with cancer, they also have to acknowledge is one of their most popular drugs is actually contributing to it. But what I'd like to just flick through at the back here is I want to show you how much medical research he quotes. There's the index. There are 16 quoted researchers on that page. Wow, he knows his stuff. We've also got another book called The Germ That Causes Cancer by Doug Kaufman, and he works with a Dr. Holland. He does a great job at looking at history and the role of fungus and the researchers that showed the fungus link with disease, even cancer. And over 100 years ago, 112 years ago to be precise, medicine and science agreed that cancer was a fungus. Well, here we have another book called Clinical Mycology. What's mycology? Study of fungus. I just want to read you some of the chapters written by 3 doctors. It says here, fungal disease of bone and joint, fungal disease of the cardiovascular system, fungal meningitis, fungal causing mass lesions of the central nervous system, dermatology, ear, nose and throat, gastrointestinal tract, genitourinary, ophthalmology, respiratory. That covers every single part of the human body. This is a medical textbook showing the fungal link with all disease. Dr. Holland, he was asked, are you saying fungus causes most diseases? He said, no, all diseases. Well, you see, to date, they have documented 1.5 million different yeasts, molds and funguses, and they all give off, some of them 2 or 3 different mold wastes. 1,000 of them are well known to cause disease in human beings. Someone else who's a recent day guy, he's only about 45, this is Dr. Robert Young. And in his book, he showed a very interesting chapter, the lost chapter in the history of biology. What's the lost chapter? It's the role of yeast and fungus. And he quotes some scientific greats who proved this to be true. One was Virginia Livingston Wheeler, Claude Bernard that Pasteur quoted, Gaston Naessens. He also gives information on Antoine Beauchamp, which is very difficult to get any information on him. Interesting books. You're looking at about $2,000 worth of books there. A lot of them out of print, a lot of them hard to get, but there is one you can get in Australia, and it's called the China Study. You may have heard it, called the most comprehensive study on nutrition ever conducted. We'll be showing you a DVD later in the week that interviews Colin Campbell. And I encourage everyone to read the first chapter while you're here. It's a summary of the whole book. But he grew up on a dairy farm, ate a lot of meat, became a doctor, went into research, became a doctor vet, went into research, and he was asked to go to the Philippines where children were dying of liver cancer between 8 and 10 years of age. He had a look and he found the one common denominator was peanut butter. Peanut grows a mould called aspergillus that gives off a mould waste called aflatoxin. And aflatoxin is probably the most carcinogenic substance ever to be tested. This explains why peanuts are banned in Australian schools, aren't they? It's because of the aflatoxin. It's not the peanut, it's the mould waste. You see, 78% of Aussies live in the city, so their food is grown in the country, and it is in storage that the problem arises. You get a cold, frosty morning and a hot, sunny day. What's building up in those silos is moisture, which is actually fruitful ground for these guys to develop. So he found in the Philippines it was the peanut butter. Every jar of peanut butter he tested had aflatoxin.
Dr. Young's research on aflatoxin in peanut butter sheds light on a critical issue: how environmental factors can contribute to disease. Aflatoxin, a substance produced by mould on peanuts, is a known carcinogen and can lead to liver cancer when consumed regularly over time. This discovery highlights the need to consider not only what we eat, but also how our food is stored and handled. The impact of fungi on health extends beyond just cancer. For example, fungal infections can worsen conditions like asthma and can trigger chronic illnesses through inflammation. Sometimes the symptoms of fungal infections can mimic other diseases, leading to misdiagnosis and incorrect treatments. These findings stress the importance of ongoing research into the connections between fungi and health issues. It's not just about recognizing the problem, but also improving preventive measures and treatments. Proper food storage is crucial, as moldy foods can pose serious health risks, particularly if consumed frequently. In practical terms, this means being mindful of how food is stored and handled to avoid mold contamination. It also underscores the importance of staying informed about the potential health risks associated with mold exposure.
I've heard of people say, I had breast cancer, tried the natural way and it just didn't work. I had ovarian cancer, tried the natural way and it didn't work. I'm always intrigued as to what this natural way is. Because yes, definitely we need water, we need exercise, we need early nights, we need nourishing food. That's all fairly common sense, isn't it? But what I'm about to tell you today is the missing link into why those two ladies didn't heal. In fact, why many didn't heal. And it also explains why Angelina Jolie did not have to remove her breasts, and many women follow suit. They actually just needed to balance their hormones. So I'm going to begin by going through some of the symptoms of a female having a hormonal imbalance, and then I'm going to give you the symptoms of a man having a hormonal imbalance. So with a woman, it would be early periods. Do you know normal is 16 to 18? And you hardly ever hear that today. We're getting young girls who are getting their periods at 9. That's a hormonal imbalance. Very heavy periods, very painful periods, sore breasts at period time, premenstrual tension. These are all symptoms of a hormonal imbalance. Also, polycystic ovarian syndrome, ovaries that have cysts growing on them, fibroids in the uterus, endometriosis, lumps in the breast, breast cancer, cervical cancer, also polyps in the vagina, in the uterus, Also depression and heart disease. These are some of the symptoms of a hormonal imbalance. What about a man? For a man, some of the symptoms are low sperm count. A lot of couples can't have children today. Sometimes it's the man, sometimes it's the woman. Also penile dysfunction or erectile dysfunction, inability to hold an erection. In Australia, the current figures are 50% of men over the age of 40 are having trouble with this. That's crazy. Sorry, I got that mixed up. It's 40% of men over the age of 50 are struggling with this. And also prostate problems. A man with prostate problems, it's an indication of a hormonal imbalance. Too much of the female hormone can cause a man to be effeminate, and too much of the male hormone can cause a woman to be masculine. All of these are symptoms of a hormonal imbalance. What I want to do this morning is I want to take you through the monthly cycle, and then I want to show you what throws the cycle out of balance, and then I want to finish by showing you what brings the balance back. Notice that our sex hormones are made from cholesterol, and that is why they've just added breast cancer to one of the side effects of the cholesterol-lowering medication. If you don't have enough cholesterol, you can't make your sex hormones. From cholesterol, your body makes pregnenolone, and from pregnenolone, your body makes progesterone. Progesterone is a key hormone because from progesterone, estrogen is made. From progesterone, testosterone is made, and from progesterone, the adrenal hormones are made. I'm going to explain the monthly cycle like a dance, because it is like a dance. Different players come onto the stage at different times of the month. Progesterone is one of our star players, and progesterone is going to be wearing a green dress in this dance, and progesterone's nickname is Happy Hormone. What's the old saying? Happy wife, happy life. You know, when you've got a happy lady who's running the home, the whole family is happy. We've got a lot of unhappy ladies because of a hormonal imbalance. Estrogen is the other player in the dance of the hormones, and estrogen's going to be wearing a red dress. And estrogen's role in the body is that of a cell proliferator. In other words, causing massive cell growth. So it is estrogen that causes the skinny young girl to develop into a beautiful, shapely woman. But if that beautiful, shapely woman gets out of shape, it's usually because of the estrogen has remained high, and we're going to look at why that is so. I liken estrogen to good slave, bad master. How we love our fires in the middle of winter. But you know, fire can get out of control and burn a whole town down. We can't function without water, and how we love diving into a stream in a hot weather. But floods can come and wipe out a town. So that's why I say I liken estrogen to fire and water. Good slave.
Cancer begins when cells in the body grow uncontrollably, leading to tumours and potentially spreading to other parts of the body. These abnormal cells often result from mutations in the genes that regulate how cells divide and grow. Various factors can cause these mutations, including genetics, environmental exposure, and lifestyle choices. Hormonal imbalances can significantly impact cancer risk. For example, high levels of estrogen over time can increase the risk of cancers like breast and ovarian cancer. Estrogen can encourage the growth of cells that are sensitive to this hormone. Similarly, imbalances in testosterone can affect prostate health and potentially lead to prostate cancer. Managing hormonal imbalances is crucial for both preventing and treating cancers related to hormones. By addressing these imbalances through medical treatments or lifestyle changes, it's possible to reduce cancer risk and support better health. Restoring hormonal balance can help mitigate the effects of these imbalances, improving overall health and enhancing the effectiveness of cancer treatments.
And you might be surprised to see that the first alkaline food I'm putting up here is the humble lemon. And you might say, no, the lemon's acid. It is. And it's acid where it should be. There's only one part in the body that should be acid. You know where that is? Stomach. It must be acid. If someone says, I've got a very acid stomach, I say, praise God. Because if you don't have an acid stomach, you can't break your proteins down. How do you know it's acid? Well, it's sore. Well, you shouldn't feel it. I can't feel it. It means you haven't got a thick mucosa lining on the stomach. We're going to look at water tomorrow, and that's made up of water. Maybe it's because you're dehydrated. Remember, you've got to investigate. I gave a presentation last night to a group, and we had questions at the end. And one question was, what can I do for high blood pressure? And I said, well, I can't answer that in 30 seconds, but you can go to my YouTube lecture. What can we do for this? I said, well, all depends on why it's... What can I do for my sore finger? All depends on why the finger's sore. So you've got to investigate. So I actually referred them to lectures I have online where they can investigate. Everyone wants a quick fix. Sorry, there aren't any. The quickest fix I know would have to be your hot and cold. Your hot and cold treatments. You can get relief very quickly with your hot and cold water treatments. No, the lemon is acid where it should be. That's why you'll find that most of our salad dressings have lemon in them. But when it is broken down in the gut and the minerals are dispersed and absorbed into the blood and thus to the tissues, it has an alkaline effect because the lemon is high in the alkaline minerals, which is sodium and potassium, calcium, magnesium and iron. These are the alkaline minerals, and the lemon is high in the alkaline minerals. Don't you love the lemon? Every home should have a lemon tree. And if you're in a unit, you can have a lemon tree in a pot on your veranda. Dark green leafy vegetables are also alkaline forming. Dark green leafy vegetables we should be eating every day. That's your kale, that's your parsley, that's your, what you call them, collard greens. Do you know, I've never seen collard greens in Australia. You can tell I'm in Alabama. They're a popular food here, but we do have spinach and silver beet, kale. We should be eating something from the dark green family of vegetables every single day. And if you don't, you really should have a dose of green barley or super greens.
In addition to greens, other foods are known for their cancer-fighting properties. Cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, cauliflower and Brussels sprouts contain compounds such as sulforaphane, which help detoxify the body and protect against cancer. These vegetables support the body's natural defense mechanisms and enhance the elimination of carcinogens. Berries, including strawberries, blueberries and raspberries, are rich in antioxidants like vitamin C and E, as well as flavonoids, which help neutralize free radicals and reduce oxidative stress. This antioxidant effect can help lower the risk of cancer by preventing cell damage. Tomatoes, which contain lycopene, have been linked to reduced risk of prostate cancer. Lycopene is a powerful antioxidant that protects cells from damage and reduces inflammation. Cooking tomatoes, such as in tomato sauce, enhances the availability of lycopene. Nuts and seeds, such as almonds, walnuts and flax seeds, are high in healthy fats and phytochemicals that have anti-cancer properties. They provide essential fatty acids that help reduce inflammation and support overall health. Green tea contains catechins, particularly epigallocatechin gallate, which have been shown to inhibit cancer cell growth and promote apoptosis in cancer cells. Drinking green tea regularly can be a beneficial addition to your diet. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you found the information on cancer, its causes, and the role of foods in treatment and prevention both insightful and empowering. Remember, making informed dietary choices can be a significant step towards better health and well-being. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for more content on health and wellness. Feel free to leave your questions or comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Until next time, take care and stay healthy.